Okay.
I'll keep that in.
Boo bitches. Hi, and welcome to episode 125 of C3 Crystals, Cauldrons, and Cocktails. I'm River,
And I'm Ren.
and today we are going to talk about portal magic. Portals, portal magic, what portals are, and how maybe we can incorporate them into our witchcraft.
Yes.
But first, what are we drinking? And this
Um,
is really fun because we both, I think every year we tell you all we go to the Renaissance Festival
hmm
and they have a tea room there called the Peacock Tea Room.
hmm
And we love their tea so much that during the rest of the year, we buy tea. So we're each having a different tea from the tea room. I am having the Irish whiskey cream tea. It's one of my
hmm
favorites.
hmm
And what are you drinking?
I'm having the strawberry moon tea.
Strawberry Moon. And they have very witchy teas there too. They've got like the Green Man tea and the something goddess tea. And
Yes.
so
My
it's,
favorite is the strawberry moon.
yes, I like that one too.
It's
But
so good.
I really like, my mouth is watering. I really like the Irish whiskey cream with I'm on keto diet again now. I go on and off this thing. So, but I like it with the sugar in it that I like regular sugar, but I have to
Yes.
have keto sugar. So, but you can actually drink a lot of these without any sugar at all.
Oh
Like the
yeah.
strawberry moon,
hmm
you probably don't even put sugar in it, do you?
Mm-mm. No,
Yeah.
but it does taste a little weird right now because I just brewed it. And so usually it's iced. And
Yes,
right
that is
now,
my favorite way to drink
yes.
strawberry moon.
Right now, I didn't think to make it iced, but I would have rather had it iced. So right now, I feel like the warmness of it doesn't feel as sweet, but when you put it on ice and it's cold, it has more
Hmm.
of like a sweet flavor. I don't know that reaction. That's magic itself.
Yeah, for sure. And we usually that's what we get together when we go to the Renaissance Festival together is we go when we both have strawberry moon.
I
It's
love it.
very
I
good.
I literally go in and just ask for Strawberry Moon to go.
Mm,
They're
yeah,
always
for
like,
sure.
just a cup. And I'm like, just a cup. I don't care if it costs $5 for this small cup that I'm going to drink in like less than 2 seconds. It's so
Well,
good.
they're also packed too. So, and it's
Always.
really is the tea. Well, I love all their food too, honestly.
hmm
But if it's like 3 hours wait, then yeah,
Yeah.
we can just we'll take a cup of that strawberry iced strawberry moon
Yeah.
tea to
Yeah.
go.
I'll just go in there. I'm like, I just want a cup. And they're like, okay, it's going to
Yeah,
be $5. And I'm like,
yeah.
that's fine. Just do a little like light ice so I get a little bit more tea than just
Hmm.
mostly ice. Because, I mean, around the festival, it's like you can get normal sweet tea and like other things, but like
Hmm.
nothing beats the strawberry moon to me.
Oh,
I
and
love
this isn't to say that we don't drink a whole bunch of mead while we're there
Oh
together
no, that's
too.
very true. I do the meat there is actually very interesting because it's not as sweet
And
as
it's
usual meat
fizzy.
is. Yeah,
It's
it's like it's a
fizzy.
little bubbly. And so I'm like,
Yeah,
I don't know what their meat is. I mean, I drink it. It's good,
I know we do. We do. We
but
have a good time.
the strawberry moon is definitely my favorite. And I cannot wait to go this year if we're going.
I know. It starts like April 13th or something, so not too far
Oh,
away.
okay, we're
Yeah.
close. I'm
Not
gonna dress up again.
me
Da-da-da.
too. Me
See,
too.
I have two skirts, one corset. Now, I have been shedding some pounds,
Hmm. Yay.
kind of stagnant right now, but nevertheless.
Hmm.
So I might have to rebuy a whole
What a shame.
wardrobe. I know, right? It's not like I buy a new skirt every year because, like, the corset I usually wear is like a cream color, so it'll go with anything.
Hmm.
And so the first year I had like this reddish color, and then last year I had like a green has been the phase of like a
Hmm.
people. But now for me, green is over. I don't, So now I need another skirt, and now I need another corset. I mean, come on,
Of course.
come on.
Yeah, I'll probably do a corset and a witch hat. I'll probably be a witch. I might be a
Mhm.
fairy. I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't worn a hat, but a hat intrigues me. I wear all the cute like little doodads around my waist. Or
Hmm.
I have like the cute belt in a little bag to put my phone in. Of course, that's not very
Hmm.
Renaissance-y, but I needed somewhere to put my phone and my cash. And so I have a little bag for that, and it's perfect. It fits my phone perfect in my little wallet. And then I have these like little potion bottles hanging from my waist, and I just freaking love it. I
Yeah,
feel like that's how I need to be dressing on a daily basis.
I love witch hats, but my best one is leather, and it is way too
Oh, it's
hot at the
way too
Renaissance
hot. I mean,
Festival.
but if we go a little bit, well, I can't say that. I was going to say if we go a little bit early, then it might not be as, blah, blah, blah. Wow, might not be as hot,
That's true,
but
but leather is
it's,
hot.
I mean, we're sitting in the middle of February and it's 66 degrees out today.
That's true too.
So, I mean,
Well, I
right
think
now is like
I'm gonna,
ideal temperature.
how you're gonna use this as an excuse to get a new corset and skirt. I'm gonna use that as a new excuse to get a new witch hat.
A new witch hat. Yeah, no, I love a good corset. If I could wear like Renaissance-y corset, skirt, full on everything every day, I
All the
would.
time. I
I
know.
would.
Me
I
too.
would.
Well, let's
Let's
get
talk about
back to
portals.
portals.
Oh man. Okay.
So you start.
Yes. So, what are portals? Okay, you're probably going, what in the fuck is going on? You guys talk about the weirdest topics, and I know we do.
We do.
But portals can be thought of in many ways. So they can be thought of as gateways to other realms, where
Hmm.
many people, practitioners, see portals as these magical connections to the physical world in other realms or dimensions.
Hmm.
So they are perceived as doorways through which energy, spirits, or magical forces can pass.
Okay.
They are these energetic pathways, and some define portals as an allowing of magical flowing energy through
Okay.
different spaces. And then these pathways can be intentionally opened or naturally occur.
Yes.
And then you have spiritual bridges where portals are seen as these like a way to facilitate communication with deities, spirits, or entities from beyond.
Or even the Fae.
Yeah, now
You know,
define beyond exactly.
a lot of natural occurring um, portals, I think, are connected with the Fae because they do, you've always heard about what is it called? Not underworld, but the Fae realm is one that you can get through mushroom circles, that kind of thing.
Yes, yes,
Those
yes.
are kind of what we're talking about.
Oh, speaking of that, and I guess it does kind of relate to what we're talking about. I don't know if you talk about this later. I can't remember what they're called, but I saw it on TikTok and it
Oh,
was
what is
so
it?
cool. Where if you see a circle, okay, so the TikTok I found was this circle in the middle of a pond, and this girl, it wasn't finished. This girl was like, do I go and finish it? And I can't remember the name of it because there was a specific name that went along with it. Like these are called something. And if you yourself finish the circle, then you're
Mm-hmm.
trapped by the Fae or whoever created the circle, and then you're in their
Mm-hmm.
realm and etc. There's a
Mm-hmm.
name for it. I can't remember. But apparently a lot of people find like stones in the middle of the woods that are laid out in a circle and one piece is missing, but it's like right there. And if you pick it up and finish that circle, then you are in a bind or something like that. And
Oh,
maybe it's
wow.
like a portal, like you said, like mushroom
Yeah.
portal into another
So is
realm.
it like a trap that they're setting for to catch
Yes.
little humans?
Yes.
Wow.
And now I really can't remember what it was called.
I
It
know what
has a
you're
name.
talking
Yeah,
about.
it has a
Yeah.
name, but it was pretty interesting. And I meant to put that in my notes, but I forgot until just now.
They're little human traps.
Yep, traps. That's a good way.
So they are often perceived as doorways to realms other than our own.
Hmm.
Maybe those ancestors is a big use of portals and magic, is to connect with your ancestors.
Hmm.
But it could be gods or deities or celestial beings, like you said.
Hmm.
They can be an enormous asset to anyone who wants to work with magic or spirits or energies moving about, because you can always open a portal that will then provide you with power, energy, or assistance that you might need.
Yeah.
Um, Portals can occur anytime two energy lines cross, forming a potential spiral that can become a portal,
So could that
which,
technically mean like that's why you never put two mirrors in front of each other?
I think maybe so.
Hmm.
I think
Okay.
so.
Okay.
And the energy lines, I don't know if this is just something from that I've read because of the fiction that I read, but ley lines,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
We've
And
talked about
so
ley lines, right?
did we? I can't remember.
Or I mean, I know we've talked about liminal spaces, but we've never have we ever touched on ley lines? Because I know
I
what
don't,
ley lines are.
yeah, we need to probably do an episode if we haven't. But
Hmm.
so to me, that's what I'm thinking of. When ley lines cross each other, that is a place where a portal might form on its own, or it would be easier for you to form. In the
Hmm.
old Charmed, the very first Charmed series, their house was right in the middle of a pentagram, and it had
Okay. Yeah.
ley lines that all connected, which made that house location a very magical location.
Hmm. Okay.
So basically, portals are for moving energies or magic,
Hmm.
not anything physical, which
Hmm.
wouldn't that be cool to
It
be
would
able
be
to
cool.
step through a portal? That would be my magic
Be like
power if I could
like
have it.
oh, River needs this such and such crystal. Boop, here you
Yep.
go.
Yep. Yep. Or let's do an afternoon trip to Niagara Falls and have some tea. You know,
Yeah. Oh man, that would be great.
wouldn't that be great? We could just portal anywhere. But that's generally, I haven't been able to find anything that talks about physically being able to move things through portals.
Hmm.
But you can use them as doorways where energies can move, including your astral self. So
Hmm.
you can move yourself through these portals as well.
Yes. That was one of the main things who suggested this, you or
I don't
me?
know. It might have been you.
When I thought of portal magic, I didn't think of like us physically being able to go from space to space, but I
Hmm.
thought about us on an astral level or dream level.
Hmm.
So that's exactly what I thought about.
Yeah,
But anything
dream
else,
portals.
I didn't really know what to expect because I had never personally heard of portals or portal quote magic. And
Yeah, I mean,
so,
I've heard the term, but I never really considered it as being a part of magic.
yeah, me neither. And so when I started looking at portal magic is a short magic ritual that creates an interdimensional or extra dimensional
Hmm.
pathway between two geographic points.
Okay.
And so, supposedly, the ritual creates what looks like a tunnel and feels like a roller coaster, but it can transport, quote, goods and people. This is where I feel kind of
Yeah, I don't know about that
thousands of miles.
definition.
Yeah, in 10 minutes. And then you specifically said that, like, I know we talked a little bit about this before, but like,
Hmm.
not physically. It's not a physical thing.
Yeah.
But like,
I mean,
when I found a definition for, quote, portal magic, it was
this was one of them.
this was
Yeah.
one of them, and I was like, maybe. I'm
I
not gonna
mean,
rule anything out, but
there is a lot of fiction stories that have this concept in them.
mhm.
So
I
and
mean,
a lot of things that once were fiction are sometimes become something that we just don't know how to do yet.
that too. Like think about like history and how we have history of and paintings and stories of men fighting dragons and large beasts in the
Yeah.
sea, et cetera, et cetera. And you're like, oh, those are just fairy tales. Portals are just make believe, et cetera, et
Yeah.
cetera.
Yeah.
But we
Yeah.
have like historical like stories passed down of like being able to do these things. And now on a modern day, we've kind of fictionalized all of it.
Hmm.
But who's to say it was fiction or currently is fiction just because we don't have those capabilities like we used to
And
before?
it may have been that there were naturally occurring
Hmm.
portals that did cross over into realms where dragons were, and
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
when you leave a portal open, it can be extremely dangerous that things
Now,
can
now
and
I
energies
feel
can come through.
I feel like there are weird things that happen on this planet because you walk into like let's say you go into a forest. There are multiple sightings like of people in different countries and regions of the world.
Hmm.
And they're like, there's just these random stairs. And if
Yeah,
they
or
save the
doors.
yes, or doors, and they save the coordinates and then they go back like in a week, right? And then it's gone. But they're in the
Hmm.
exact same space.
Hmm.
But it's like in the boondocks, like nowhere, nobody would
Yeah.
know.
Yep.
And so, like, who's to say that those aren't portals? And there are weird things that happen on this
Yep.
planet.
There are.
So I was very intrigued by this, but I'm also in the middle of The Witcher right now. And so it feels very
Well, they had
Witcher-esque.
some cool,
They
cool
did.
portals in The
They
Witcher.
really
Yeah.
did. I loved it. Now I'm not done yet, so don't spoil anything
Okay.
for me. But so it was very like Witcher-esque for me to be like, "Oh, portal magic. That's so cool."
Mm-hmm.
Now I did
Mm-hmm.
think, and we had this topic written down before I even started The Witcher. So let me just say that too.
This reminds me of I don't know if this was a topic we did or is just something that you and I talked about before.
Hmm.
That the disappearances, there was that guy that disappeared on his, I think it was in Virginia or somewhere a long, long time ago when we were just um, colonizing, and this farmer disappeared, and they would go and try to find him, and they could hear him calling,
Oh, I
but they
hated
couldn't
that.
find him. And I'm like, they thought, okay, there's a cave. He's fallen through a hole.
Yeah,
There's a cave,
yeah.
and they dug. They couldn't find anything.
See, I mean, there could be like logical explanation, like he was actually stuck in a hole somewhere
Mm-hmm.
or fell, but they just couldn't track his voice. Like that's a
Mm-hmm.
logistic
That's
explanation.
true.
But
It's true.
also, if you think about it as in like portals are there, you can
Mm-hmm.
accidentally walk into something, or maybe it's not even a portal. Maybe it's something we can't even fathom.
Maybe
And
it was a fairy trap.
maybe, and he saw a
You
circle and he
know?
completed it, you know? And
Yeah.
so, but he could have been on this Earth, but not on our plane. But we
Right.
can still
He
hear.
crossed a dimension, but it's that
Yeah.
portal was still open.
Ugh,
Yeah,
it
and
gives
crazy, and that's
me
a true
goosebumps.
story.
Yeah.
This guy
Hmm.
really truly disappeared, and the family and the neighbors and everybody searched for days and days and
Ha
days and never
have
found
you
him.
heard? Now, it could be some like these are actual cases that are currently happening where have you heard of those children? Like there were two specifically little boys, not at the same time. They both happened different places and different times, but one little boy disappeared in the woods for days.
Hmm.
Okay,
I
days.
haven't heard this.
I can't remember if it was one, I think one of the boys was autistic or something,
Okay.
something like that, and they had disappeared for days and they came back in different clothing. One of them was petrified. Like you his face, like you could tell
Hmm.
he saw things, but he came back in different clothing and he was maybe a little bit dirty, but he was found miles away from where
Oh,
he,
wow.
but he didn't seem like physically injured, but mentally like he was like you could tell like something happened. And then the
Hmm.
other little boy, and they were both two redheads, I will say.
Okay.
And so I thought there was like a
Interesting.
connection, but they were in two completely different places. And so this other little boy, he went missing and he like they had whole search parties out and everything. He was found, I think, specifically 3 miles away from where but his outfit was different. He had no socks on, but there was no trace of him walking. Like his feet weren't dirty, they were
Oh my
spotless
God.
clean. So now it could be something earthly where they abducted a child, etc.
Right. Right.
Somebody, a human had dealt with this. Okay.
Right.
But if you think about it, and I mean, that's a valid reason because they had different clothes,
Right.
all of that. Um, but if you think about it in terms of portals and
Yeah.
holes in our world that you can quote fall into, not
Yeah.
literal holes, but dimensional holes,
Hmm.
it's crazy.
That is creepy. And these were recent.
Very.
Oh my God.
I can't
And
remember
they're both
like the exact one.
redheads.
And they were both redheaded children.
Could have been aliens.
Okay. I
Although,
mean,
how would aliens have a change of clothes for them, you
I
know?
don't know if aliens can beam you up into the sky, I think they can beam up some clothes too.
That's true too. Or if they've beamed up a bunch of kids, they would have a whole bunch of extra clothes depending on,
That's
you
very
know,
true.
I
Yeah.
don't know,
Yeah,
creepy,
but
but it
it's
could have been a
so
portal.
it could have been a portal, and I'm not saying it is, but I'm just saying like you don't know what happened to those children. I don't even think
Hmm.
they know. They're scared.
Hmm.
It's terrifying.
They weren't old enough to say.
I don't know. I don't know the specific age. They looked like younger than 6, like maybe
Yeah.
no older than 6, I
Or
would
who
say.
knows? They may have said, and people are like, oh, like if the kid
Oh, it's
said,
just
"Oh,
trauma.
yeah, I went through this portal," then grown-ups are going to say, "Yeah, right.
Hmm.
Something happened.
But
Maybe he hit his
it's
head or
the
whatever."
distance for me.
Yeah.
Them being found miles away from where they were last seen. How is a
Hmm.
kid going to walk miles,
And no
day
physical,
and night? And then the one kid, he had no dirt on his feet whatsoever. And they were both
weird.
in different clothes.
That's so weird.
So weird. Now could be portals. Now I'm trying to make a,
I know,
a
a
move
connection, a
back into
segue.
into our
But I mean, generally,
topic.
the idea is that these bridges enable a connection between the witch, us, and the unseen
Hmm.
somewhere else. So, contemporary witches study and use portal concepts for various purposes, from spiritual development to dream walking, like you were talking about, to actual magical rituals. So, we'll talk a little bit about history of portals, which is your favorite thing.
I do like the history.
So, various cultures and traditions mention gateways or portals to other worlds or dimensions. This is a very common thing in all cultures,
Hmm.
which is another one of those things. And then in Egyptian mythology, there are examples of journeys between different planes of existence. And shamans often speak of traveling to, quote, the other world during trances and meditations.
Oh,
So is that, like when you go into that deep trance and you're meditating and
is
you're
that
astrally traveling or spiritually walking or what? But is that through a portal? I don't know.
I could be. I don't know. I feel like after doing these notes, anything could be a portal.
I know.
We always say that. We're like, we didn't know that this could be magic, but it is magic. And now I'm like,
Everything's magic.
now everything is portals, mirrors, and doorways and holes in the ground. Holy crap. But and also fairy rings. So let me
Right?
talk about some fairy rings. Because in Celtic folklore, fairy rings were believed to be portals to the other world. Now,
Okay.
define other world,
Right.
Fey world, maybe
Yeah, the
a
Fae.
mystical realm that inhabits like magical beings, Fey, etc.
Hmm.
Dragons, maybe.
Maybe so.
And then these circular formations of, like we said, mushrooms, or it could just even be like let's say it's dead grass and you have a ring of fresh like green grass
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
like
yeah.
standing. It could rocks, anything. These are considered gateways through which one could enter these enchanted worlds, which makes
Hmm.
me so intrigued about the one that I saw on TikTok in the water. Like,
Yeah.
is that a circle into like water Fey world? Like, I don't like into a water realm. Like, it just gives me
There was
the
a show a
heebie-jeebies.
long time ago that I watched reruns of when I was a kid, and it was traveling, it was some kind of time thing. Not the one where um they just did a remake of that where he's traveling into people's bodies, but this one was actually they had to find the portal and they were trying to get back to their world. They were traveling
Ooh, that gives me
to
anxiety.
other sliders is what it was called.
Oh,
Sliders.
I've never seen that.
And they would slide through these portals, and sometimes the portal that they had to get through to go to the next world, and they had a set amount of time to be able to find it and get through it, was over water or underwater or
Ooh,
in these weird, how do you
I
do
don't
that?
like it. I don't like it.
Yeah, very
That
interesting.
that gives me that stresses me out.
Yeah, yeah.
Other portals, you could say. I don't know how to pronounce it.
It's
Sit.
pronounced she.
She, okay.
Hmm.
That's what I looked up is not that.
Like banshee. It's a
She,
form of fairy.
so Sidhe,
Yes.
mounds. So
Yeah.
these she
She.
mounds, or also fairy mounds, were
Hmm.
thought to be entrances to the land of the she, a supernatural race. So are they part of the Fae,
I think the way
or
I've
they
always heard it is
their
that they
own,
are the Fae.
they are the Fae? Okay.
But I'm just a mortal human, so I don't know
Yes.
all the facts
We're
out there.
lowly humans.
Lowly
So
humans.
these mounds were said to conceal doorways leading to
Hmm.
the other dimension, otherworldly dimensions.
And I think in those other dimensions, time is different than our time. And so you would have a kid go in there and it would be, 80 years under there, and they would come back out and only moments had passed, but they were 80 years old now.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
so no one would believe that that's really the kid that was missing 4 days ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You also, that's another thing that I guess I never really thought about was time when you go
Hmm.
through portals because time is different everywhere.
That's true. True.
So interesting. So, like,
Yeah. Time portals is a whole different
oh my
topic.
gosh, my mind is blown.
I know.
And then you have in Norse mythology, Bifrost.
Hmm.
Okay.
I've heard of that.
Bifrost.
Yep.
Okay. It's a rainbow bridge connecting the realm of the gods or Asgard to Midgard, the world of humans.
Hmm.
And so Bifrost serves as both a protective barrier and a passageway for deities and other beings to travel between realms.
Yeah, that's in the Marvel movies.
Hmm.
They
Now,
have that.
I never thought about the deities having to have a means of transportation.
Right?
I just always, boop, they're there, you know?
Yeah.
But I mean, it would make sense. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, and you got to think that we as humans often think other mystical creatures are deities, but they
Hmm.
might just be another form of life that it's beyond our comprehension.
Hmm. So in history books, I'm not saying this is true. In history books, our deities such as like Zeus, etc.,
Hmm.
could be aliens
Could be.
that came to our planet and then they're on
Well,
another
that's
realm.
the whole Stargate
That's
uh,
true. That those
movies were all
portals.
about, and
Yeah.
and all the Egyptian gods and deities were actually just aliens.
Yeah, like yeah. But
Yeah,
it's very interesting, rather
it is
interesting.
interesting. Yeah.
And then another. Wow, my brain. I'm only drinking tea.
I know
So
we're both having troubles and we're not even drinking alcohol this time.
so in Greek mythology, the underworld has Hades and the
Yes.
gates of Hades. So this is where access is granted. It's rather than a physical portal, it's like when we pass away type of
Okay.
vibe. So, I mean, you've heard of those stories of
Yes.
like the gates of hell, et
Yes.
cetera, but we physically cannot go there.
Right.
Now, maybe you can astral project there or whatever, but this
True.
tends to be like where you go if you pass away and you transition between the world of the living to the realm of the dead.
Like the river Styx.
Yes.
Yes.
And so that is known as a portal
And
in Greek
Cerebrus with
mythology.
his three dog heads.
Yes, you with
So
your
that is
Greek
considered
mythology
because
knowledge.
life forces can't enter. They can't pass through that gateway. You have to be dead to be able to
Yes.
pass through. So yeah, I
Hmm.
guess so. I guess that really could be a portal.
Unless
I
if
hadn't
somehow
thought of
you
that.
like astral projected there or dream walked there, but then I
Hmm.
would worry if you go there as astral self,
Yeah,
would
how do you
your
get back
tether
out?
get cut and you would
Yeah,
technically be dead? I don't know.
I don't either. Hmm.
And then you have the duat, if
Okay.
I'm saying that correctly.
I don't know. I haven't heard of
In
this one.
ancient Egyptian beliefs. Of course, I
Okay.
talk about Egypt a little bit.
Hmm.
So, the Duat is a realm of the afterlife, and access to it was crucial for the soul's journey.
Oh,
The deceased had to navigate through the Duat, encountering various challenges and gateways to reach the realm of Osiris.
is Osiris the one that weighs you as
Yes.
whether you're good,
Yes.
Okay, interesting.
Hmm.
Huh.
I really like that one.
Hmm. So I
Mm,
guess Duat is the portal.
yes.
Okay.
And then you have Mount Meru. However, it's in Hindu mythology.
Okay.
Mount Meru is a sacred mountain believed to be the center of all physical metaphysical, and spiritual universes.
Oh,
It
what
is
a neat.
considered a cosmic axis and a gateway to higher realms, serving as a connection between the earthly plane and divine dimensions.
I love that idea
I do too.
that
And
there is an access point.
yes,
Yeah,
to
to
literally
everything.
everything, physical,
Oh, wow.
metaphysical, spiritual, everything.
Yeah,
I just thought that was the coolest thing.
that is very cool.
And then the Kunlun, I hope I said it right,
I
mythology
don't know. I have no idea.
or mountains, sorry. This is in Chinese mythology. So it's spelled Kunlun.
Kunlun?
Kunlun
Okay.
mythology. Why do I keep saying mythology? Mountains. Holy moly. Wow. Holy mountain, I
Kunlun
was gonna say.
Mountains.
So these are often depicted as a mystical realm inhabited by immortals and divine beings. The
And maybe
mountains
dragons.
and maybe dragons. The mountains are considered a sacred space and a portal to the celestial realms. So
Interesting.
I couldn't find much on what was in the celestial realms. It's just
Hmm.
celestial. It gives me
Well,
like
and is it something that humans that are not immortal can use? Can we
that's what
cross that
I'm not
portal?
sure.
Yeah, I don't know either.
It's just
Or is it just
inhabited by
for the,
immortals. And then
yeah, I
define
don't know.
immortals. Like, do
Yeah,
you have, I don't know, what makes you immortal? That's a whole nother topic.
yeah,
Anyways.
that is a whole different topic.
And then you have these sacred sites from various Native American tribes where they have these sacred sites believed to be portals to spirit worlds.
Okay,
And these are natural formations like caves, mountains, or lakes, and are often regarded as places where communication with ancestors or spirits is possible.
interesting.
And that makes a lot of sense for a lot of culture, like the Native American culture and
Yeah,
tribe.
I think that portals are a big part of the shamanistic practices,
I
shamanic
could,
practices,
yeah, I
whatever.
could see that too.
So let's look at that a little bit. They believed that portals are pathways that allow practitioners to connect to their ancestors,
Hmm.
and that these doorways serve as a means to commune with and seek guidance from those that have passed on. And this concept is integral.
Integral.
I
Okay.
promise y'all, we have not been drinking,
Nope.
to the shamanic traditions, where journeying through portals is a means of spiritual exploration.
Hmm. Hmm.
Shamans often believe that portals also provide access to the realms inhabited by gods, goddesses, and other divine entities.
See, and I think
And
that it's so interesting that all of these cultures and into their mythology, into
yeah,
their history, that every single one of them has a means of communication with deities, gods,
hmm,
goddesses, has a means of, and it's their own way.
and
I don't know.
a whole concept
It's
of other dimensions has been in all
yes,
these different cultures. I mean,
yes.
it's crazy.
And there has to be something. And we are being blinded by our modern day
It's a
everything.
great possibility.
Yeah.
Shamans also considered portals as gateways to the celestial realms, transcending the earthly plane. And so they would embark on spiritual journeys through these portals to gain knowledge about their higher dimensions, the cosmic energies that are there, to gain
Hmm.
insights from these celestial beings. Um, and then the way they travel through them is spiritually.
Hmm.
Um, it involves entering altered states of consciousness. Sometimes they would take not drugs necessarily, but ingest plants that have hallucinogenic abilities, that kind of thing. And so it would alter their state of consciousness. And also, you might have the drumming, the chanting, or other ritualistic practices to help induce that altered state so that you could travel through these portals. And they do that to gain knowledge, healing, or transformative experiences. I mean, a lot of cultures are very big on learning about your higher self.
Hmm. Yeah.
And so this is one way to do it. But shamans also believe that portals act as navigation points, allowing them to move between the ordinary world and the spirit world. And this movement facilitates interaction with whatever entities are on the other side, or maybe retrieval of lost soul fragments. That freaked
Oh,
me out.
Lost soul
Like
fragments.
have we've lost pieces of our soul and we can go through a portal to try to find them. I,
Ooh.
I know that freaked me out when I read that one.
Maybe
I had
that's why
never considered
some people just never feel whole or they're always like sad and depressed and all of that for no
because they're
reason is
missing
because
part
we're
of their
missing pieces
souls.
of ourselves.
Makes me think of Harry Potter and the
Oh,
Horcruxes
that's true.
because he splintered on purpose his soul into pieces,
Yeah, what if we did it on purpose and like our souls did it on purpose because maybe that was a bad piece of us that we wanted to forget, but we're missing.
or it needed to go through the portal to repair itself, to heal itself. Maybe it was a broken part of your soul.
See, there's
That
so many options.
I know. I mean, as to healing, portals are utilized as gateways to access healing energies or to seek wisdom. So the shamans might journey through these portals to retrieve information that can aid in physical, emotional, and spiritual healing here back here in our world.
Mhm.
And they do have rituals for opening portals, and they involve really specific techniques, and it might include the invocations, ceremonies. I couldn't come across anything that actually was like, here's the spell to open a shamanic portal.
Mhm.
Um,
Okay.
so that's how the shamans do it, but it's not portals aren't just shamanic. There are other
Oh no, there's so many
cultures that use it too.
variations.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Now, guardians, there have to be guardians, right? To
Hmm.
the gateway guardians or
I mean,
protectors.
if the portal's left open, you would
Because I
think
mean,
there's got
I
to
mean,
be.
we're talking about us losing soul fragments. Like how do you prevent that type
Yeah.
of thing?
Yeah.
So there are known guardians, and some of them are
Okay.
thought of as elemental spirits, where folklore often depicts these spirits like gnomes, fairies, or spirits of the land as guardians of natural portals.
Like the Green Man, I can see him being a forest
Yeah.
portal
Yeah,
guardian.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then, so these entities are believed to protect the balance between the magical and physical realms, which that just sounds so tiring.
It does, doesn't it?
I would be tired.
No wonder they need offerings.
True. I
Leave them
would,
out the little honey and
I would be
cream.
the one to complain all the time. They'd be like, okay, it's your turn. I'd be like, "Ugh, fuck you." And then you have custodians of sacred sites. So these guardians may be spirits associated with specific sacred sites or ancient landmarks that are believed to be portals.
Hmm.
And then their role is to ensure the safety and the
Sanctity?
that's it. Thank you.
Sanctity.
Of the portal and to regulate the access to the mystical energies beyond.
This makes me think. I know I watch way too many movies, but I have another movie that this reminds me of. There was a
Uh-huh.
movie, and it's set in modern world, and this group of, I think it was, might have all been women, and they had some trauma in their past. And it was part of their counseling to go out into the wilderness and try to rebuild their
Hmm.
connection to the earth and that kind of thing.
Okay.
So they go up there and they're being told about the ancient tradition that there was of leaving offerings for the god of the mountain. And
Okay.
one of the girls is like, but now that people don't do that anymore, now that they don't get the offerings, what happens? And of course, everybody died. They all got murdered, but
I was about to be like, is it a horror movie or
it was, you know me, of course it was.
do you remember what it
But
was called?
I do not. But it was about this god or entity that had been honored and offerings were left for it. And so it protected that area and kept the people safe. But as now we're in modern times, no one does that anymore. And so it went out for vengeance.
Oh gosh, and why did it
Yeah.
kill those girls specifically?
Anybody coming to their place had to be made a sacrifice.
But what
They
if
took
they honored, like what if they provided an
that's,
honoring?
I wonder if they should have done that.
It was a
I think
movie
I might
though.
have done that.
Yeah, I would have offered because I would have honored it. I'd been like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
We're in
we're
this.
also think different.
Yeah, we're witches too. So I think witches, these were people that were just regular people that had so much trauma in their lives that they probably weren't thinking anything, they were just trying to reconnect themselves to sanity, much less,
Like
you
have
know,
to,
being able to think in terms of Gaia and
yeah,
nature and all that. They
yeah.
they had so much trauma inside that it probably didn't even cross their minds. But
No,
yeah, it
no.
was kind of creepy. And I thought about that. And I'm like, because
Interesting.
there are these, like you said, these tired elemental spirits or guardians that have done all this work to keep us safe, and we don't even honor them
I
anymore.
mean, yeah, and they used to be like maybe revered or
Hmm.
like acknowledged at least, and now, yeah. I mean, what's to if they're not being, honored or whatever, the word
Hmm.
is anymore, then what is to keep them to like what is keeping them regulating that access? What is
Yeah.
keeping
Yeah.
them,
Why not just let the dragons come or whatever
yeah,
the
or like
evil?
have those energies come over even though they would
Yeah.
be like harmful, not harmful, but
Yeah.
like mess everything up, like our energy frequencies and all of that.
Yeah. I don't know. But I
Interesting.
found this really cool article, and I'm pretty much going to tell you her whole entire article because I found it so fascinating. It
Okay.
was from magicalmusings.blog, and we'll post it. Fascinating story, because this is what I was looking for when I wanted to do this topic on portals.
Okay. Okay.
This is exactly what I was thinking of. So she says, today is a very weird day, but it has inspired this blog entry. So far, I have seen not one, but two figures walk across the width of our backyard this afternoon.
Hmm.
Our backyard is surrounded by a 6 foot high wooden privacy fence, and we have two side gates that we keep locked at all times. Unless someone climbs the fence, there is no way to enter our backyard without our knowledge. The first figure was that of a man who looked at me through the window on our back door as he walked across the deck. He was an older man, probably in his 60s, in a dark black coat in the middle of summer in Houston. I ran to the back door thinking, oh my gods, who the hell is in my backyard and is the door locked? And
Yeah, that's
thankfully it
what
was
I would think.
locked. Yeah. And she said, as I looked out through the window of the back door, he was nowhere to be seen.
Oh.
I ran out there, and the dog and both side gates were locked with the dog, and both side gates were locked from the inside. There was nowhere that man could have gone unless he managed to jump a 6 foot high privacy fence, which I sincerely doubt considering his age. Two
Hmm.
hours later, I see a dark haired boy out there, approximately around 8 or 9. He was walking across the yard in the same direction as the man and at the same spot. I repeat my actions. The gates are still locked, no sign of the kid. To top it all off, I've been smelling incense on and off all day today. I haven't burned any incense over the last 2 weeks because my daughter is sick from mono. When it cools off tonight, I'm going to step outside with my pendulum and see if I can identify any portals. My guess is that a new spirit portal has opened up. We used
Hmm.
to have one in our front yard that I successfully shut down, and there were two in my daughter's room.
No.
Now there's only one in her bathroom. No matter how many times I shut it down, that particular portal keeps coming back. She sees all sorts of stuff in her bathroom and thinks it's cool, I guess, because of whatever age she is, including a woman dressed in a long white gown. So then
Hmm.
so because of that, she's like, you can close portals. They might be naturally occurring, they might be opening up, but you should close them if you can.
Mm-hmm.
She says pendulums can be used to identify portals. If you
Oh.
practice a healing, what is the word? I don't know, a healing like Reiki,
Oh.
if you
Uh.
practice that,
Mm-hmm.
um, you can use that energy to close the portal. And the process is very simple with your pendulum. And then she says a dowsing rod might also work if you have one.
Mm-hmm.
Slowly walk the area of the suspected portal. Keep an eye on your pendulum and pause about every other step. If your pendulum starts to rotate, you have identified a portal. Portals have either an entry or an exit point to the physical world from the spirit world. The next step is to use your pendulum to identify which type of portal you have discovered. This is also very simple. Your pendulum will be swinging either clockwise or counterclockwise. If it's clockwise, then you found a portal that allows spirits to enter into our plane, the physical plane. If you if it's going counterclockwise, you found a portal that serves as an exit point for spirits to leave our physical plane and return to their world. And she said, it is important that you do not shut down an exit portal.
Oh,
You want to make sure that they have a way to get out here. Otherwise, those spirits will be trapped in our realm here in the physical realm.
I guess, but can't they just make their way to another exit point?
Maybe, but I don't know. Like if I don't know.
Hmm.
If you find a portal that is serving as an entry point, you can close it down. For this, all you need to have is to have been to be attuned to your Reiki or some other healing ability that you can use to direct energy down from the universe through your body, out through your hand, and into the pendulum. So I found that fascinating. That was more what I was looking for when I was trying to do, I wanted
Okay,
to know about plus I think we probably should do another episode about portals and talking about how you astral projection into portals and
true,
into the spirit world, and
true.
how do you go about doing that and what can
Mm-hmm.
it do for you? Um, each one of those talks about how to open up a portal into those realms, rather than using natural portals, which might just quote be there,
Like, yeah.
because, if you have to wander
And how
around
do you,
looking for a portal, that's
yeah,
not very helpful.
no. Ugh. I don't know. Portals give me the heebie-jeebies.
It's an interesting concept. And there are a lot of movies and fiction
So,
stuff
like,
about portals.
it was funny because there was talk because we were driving. I was driving with my husband somewhere. We were in the middle of nowhere, okay? And we started talking about like, I don't even know what it was like old things. We were just talking. And I was like, we could be driving right now. And if we were in the past, we would be driving right through dinosaurs,
Hmm.
like, because who knows, right? And so, who knows if there was a mountain like sky high before and now there's not.
Right.
And that's why airplanes go missing because maybe there was a mountain
Oh,
point of portals there, but that there's no land there anymore, but there's
but
still
the portals
portals.
are still there.
And so airplanes go missing. Now, I mean,
So
logically,
like,
logically, a lot of them end up in the ocean, but there
but
are
like
some that never go missing. And go ahead.
the Bermuda
That's what I was about
Triangle.
to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So the
It,
Bermuda Triangle could be a massive portal. Oh
hmm.
God, that gives me the heebie-jeebies.
And maybe during the time that all those planes and things were going missing, if it's not, I mean, logically, like you said, it could have been just down planes or whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
the stories of people that enter that area with their compasses spinning and things that
Mm-hmm.
they're seeing,
Yeah.
it really could be portals. And maybe now the Guardian is back and making sure that maybe something was wrong with the Guardian before during that time. And because now you don't hear that much about things,
Yeah,
and
I
planes
mean,
fly over that all the time,
that's true.
and
And it
ships,
could
and
just be like chalked up to like we didn't have advanced technology to be able to deal
yeah.
with the high waves of that like in that
Mm-hmm.
area, et cetera, et cetera. See,
Mm-hmm.
there are so many logical reasons, but then I also want portals to be a logical reason.
Mm-hmm. I think it is,
I think it
and they
could
say
be.
aliens, that's another
It's also,
one.
I mean, that's also another like it's not, I mean, I don't want to say not logical, like it's not
Yeah,
illogical, but it's
it's,
also it's a theory.
I mean, the whole portal thing could explain so much.
It could, but also there's a lot more to talk about.
I mean, especially if two little kids are going missing right now in today's world.
I'm
We're
like,
not talking about it being ancient times where,
no, yeah. But I mean, that could also just be like there's a lot of things with like
yeah,
crime and
that's
trafficking and
true.
all
It
of
could have,
that
yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So who knows?
yeah.
I mean, who knows?
Fascinating.
It's also
Let
mysterious
let
because
us know if you want us to talk more about
yeah, I
portals.
mean, we do
And
have a lot of like missing people cases and stuff. And I mean,
mm-hmm,
you always think you're like, there's at least one person out there that
mm-hmm,
knows what happened to whoever's missing, which
mm-hmm,
that gives me the creeps. And that's on like true crime vibes. But
mm-hmm.
like, what if there isn't a person? Who knows? Like, what if they fell into a
There
portal? What if
there
something
are
happened?
some crazy,
There are
crazy
like
stories out
do
there.
you remember that I know we're ranting now, but I do like true crime podcasts.
Hmm.
And what have you ever heard of? I don't know if it's been solved or not, but there was a kid who went missing and his body was found upside down in a fireplace. Like he was like
No.
shoved because it was this fireplace like of an abandoned house, and it was kind of like it was so old that the land had risen around it, so like it was like
Oh,
kind of
wow.
underneath the ground and halfway up, so it was like you could access it, so it was like they fell, like he fell into this chimney,
Oh,
but the way that his shoes were inside the house
before his head?
before his head, and he was
Ah.
like he had no clothes on, etc., or something like that. It was something along the lines, and his
Hmm.
body was like shoved in there, but the way that it was, nobody was there. Like there's no evidence of anybody being there. There's no nothing. And I still don't know if it's solved or not, but I'm like, what if he found a portal and there was a portal where that chimney was, and just something happened and it glitched and he I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, I know. That's crazy.
And that it's like still a mystery or an unsolved true crime. Like there's a lot of unsolved things that I'm like, what if
That,
nobody actually knows? What if it's
yeah,
something
magical.
maybe?
Yeah.
But then I also don't want to be that wackadoo that's like, no, it was a portal and there's a logical reason, you know?
They're gonna say, "Oh, yeah, that Ren, she wears the
Yeah.
aluminum foil
Yeah.
hats."
Yeah. It was aliens, I swear.
Well, that's all
So
we've got
yeah, that's
about
all we
portals this
have.
time. So you want to
And
do the outro?
yes, if I can remember it.
Okay.
So let me see. Oh, if you want to find out anything else about us, I'm already off to a bad start. You can go to www.c3witchypodcast.com. There you will find links to all of our social medias. You can also find our newsletter. I never really often say that. You can
Hmm.
find our newsletter. You can click our shop merch button and it'll take you directly to our merch. You can find information about our subscriptions, our episodes are there. Um, oh, I think I've already said this, but I've been editing our website a little bit. And now we have a whole section where it tells you what you get in the After Dark episodes. So if you are intrigued and want to know a little bit more about that, you can find that on the homepage. Just scroll down a little bit and
Yeah,
it's right there.
and I think some of our best episodes are after dark episodes.
I do like our After
They're
Darks a
fun.
lot. Our last
Hmm.
episode, I don't know when this one comes out, but when we're recording this one, we're yeah, it was ghosts, and then we
Hmm.
have a leap year, so
Leap
that
year.
one's
Hmm.
exciting. And I try to come up with really good pictures, and leap year, I couldn't think of a picture, so you're getting a toad on a mushroom for that one on our website. It's actually pretty cute. I'm
I,
pretty excited.
I like that picture and Toad's leap, so that's a good
Yeah.
connection.
So it was
Leap
like a
year.
leap year and all of that.
Yeah.
So it's a cute little, thing, but we do try to keep our website updated. And so you can find all of our information there.
Hmm.
And oh, if you want to shop our merch and you don't want to go to our original website, you can go to www.c3witchypodcastmerch.com.
Hmm. And subscribe to us on YouTube. I think
Yes,
some of you
YouTube
have
is very
been.
important.
We're up like 5 subscriptions on YouTube subscribers. Yay.
Yay. Yeah, I think you guys have been listening to us. I think we should start putting it in the beginning a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
I think so
it
too.
really does help out anyway if you follow us on Facebook or YouTube. YouTube and Facebook are our most active. We're trying to post a little bit more on Instagram, so
Hmm.
follow us there,
And we're
updates and
trying to put
everything.
up TikToks. We try to put up
Trying.
some fun ones.
Trying is the key word.
Yes, we try very hard. But that's all we've got. Thank you
That's
for
it.
listening,
Hmm.
and we'll be back.
We'll be back.
And until then, stay witchy.
Woo!